Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah. Today I thought I would do a money saving tips video for you. This isn't something that I would usually talk about or usually make a video about, but I just thought that I would bring some of my sort of experience and some of my tips for you, especially if you're expecting a baby. Everyone knows that a baby is really expensive. It's so mad that something so small could cost so much. I am currently 7 months pregnant, which is absolutely mental. So along the way I have had to pick up some tips, some tricks, some really great ways of saving money and not spending loads and loads of money and having to go wild. So I thought I would bring them to you today. My first tip for you is to shop around. Seriously, this is the biggest thing that has saved us money during this whole experience so far, is to shop around. When you first find out you're pregnant, the best thing to do is to write a massive list of everything that you're going to need and when you're going to need it. I cannot tell you how much stuff at the beginning we were buying for the baby when the baby wasn't going to be using it for about 6 months or a year into its life. So we were spending money on things that we weren't going to be needing. So just make sure you shop around. You may see something that you really like on a website. So you may see a really nice pram, say on Mothercare, but then you might shop around and you might see that it's £50 cheaper or even hundreds of pounds cheaper somewhere else. Which leads me into my second point of don't rush to buy things. This is something that me and Harry really didn't want to do, especially for the bigger things like prams, high chairs, cots, stuff like that. Don't rush to buy them, mainly because when you are pregnant, you do actually get a lot of help from friends and family. We have been gifted. Just don't rush because, as I've said, you do have 10 months pretty much to get everything ready for the baby. And people will either gift them to you. People may have ones that they used for the first 2 weeks of their child's, existence, and haven't used them since. Our high chair is from my sister-in-law and my brother. They used it on my niece for 2 years and it is in amazing condition. So we've had that instead of having to buy a new high chair. So obviously if you do need to buy it yourself, and I'm not saying don't buy stuff because people will buy it for you. I'm just saying, especially if you're having a baby shower or anything like that, you will get a lot of gifts. And you will find that if you know people that have had babies before, they are more than happy to let you either use it or borrow it. This also leads on to my third point. So if you don't, if you're rushing to buy things, you may be paying a lot more for them. With me and Harry, we bought so much of our stuff in the Boxing Day sales, the January sales and Black Friday, purely because we knew that we would be getting the exact same product on the exact same website but paying 50% less. It was absolutely ridiculous. We got all of our steriliser, our bottle feed stuff, every single thing that we needed in that department. Bear in mind that's a 15 item list. We got it for £50 off Amazon, and then I think the postage made it 60. So we got it for so much cheaper than we needed to get it. I think it originally retails for £150 and we got it for that cheap just because we waited an extra couple of weeks, which made no difference to us anyway because it's not like we had a baby that needed that stuff, but we waited an extra couple of weeks to get it in that sale and we got it a lot cheaper. So as I've said, you are pretty much pregnant for 9 to 10 months. So at some point your pregnancy is going to cross over with a big sale. So you are going to be able to save money. Just shop around and do the sales. Seriously, is the best money saving tip I can give you. The fourth tip that I have for you is kind of contradicting to what I've said, but don't feel like you have to be buying the cheapest thing. So don't skimp on the things that you really need. A pram is something that you are going to need pretty much until the child is about 3 or 4. even past that, you know, you are going to need this pram for such a long time. And I give it to you now, it is best to buy a pram that is a car seat holder, then it goes into one that the baby can sleep in, and then one that becomes a seat for a toddler and a sleeping place for a toddler. So you're going to have to buy something that's going to last you for so many years. So don't feel like because you're trying to save money that you need to buy the cheapest pram. Don't think, alright, I'll buy just one that's just for a newborn, because then you buy that pram that's just for a newborn and then like 6 months in you're going to have to buy another pram that's going to last you a few more years. So you're ending up having to spend a lot of money. So yeah, do shop around and try and get as much money off and save as much money as you can, but make sure that you are, you know, investing your money into something that is going to last. And my final tip for you is to plan early. Make sure that the pretty much first thing you do when you find out you're pregnant is that you sort out your finances. Me and my partner went through our direct debits and we got rid of anything that we were thinking, why are we even paying for that? Then we made sure that every month we weren't just spending our money on crap, we weren't buying just like loads of food. Make sure that you're planning early, especially, as I've said, paying more out for the things that you really need to be good quality and need to last. Also, even though you are spending like little bits of money here and there and you're buying sale items and really reduced items, you're still having to buy quite a lot of things. And a baby is something that you are constantly having to buy more stuff for. So nappies, you are having to buy nappies all the time. So you're going to need money saved for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was of some help to anyone out there that is expecting a baby. I hope to see you very soon in my next video. Love you all. Bye.
Hold up.